Hello, great to be with you again today for our daily reflection, taken from the YouVersion Bible app, and it's from Isaiah 25 verse 8 today.
Yes, the verse of the day is, He will swallow up death forever. The sovereign Lord will wipe away the tears from all faces. He will remove his people's disgrace from all the earth. The Lord has spoken. What a great promise that is.
Such a relief to know that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think everyone really has a difficult dance understanding death, and it's not a simple thing to get your head around. For those of us who are very assured of our confidence in Jesus, we know that there is a future ahead. But for a lot of people, this is a difficult thing, knowing what's going to happen at the end of their life.
And it's not just death. That death is a big one, but it's also tears. So it's the pain, it's the suffering, it's the grief, and it's also disgrace, the shame that we often feel as well. So it's not just about that final thing, death. It's all the other things that we face in life that are challenges for us all. And God is saying in this, I get that. I understand that you're going through all that, but there is a bigger plan. There is a broader agenda that God has that will be fulfilled, and his promise is it will happen. And we see this picked up again in the book of Revelation. John picks up this whole idea that there is a day coming where God will deal with all this stuff.
Yep, and what a relief. I was talking yesterday about feeling icky because of an incident that happened when I was a teenager, and I think that happens to a lot of us. There are awful moments in our lives that we choose to forget or push down because they're so shameful and not nice. And what God's saying is, yay, he's going to remove all that. There will be no more shame or disgrace or awful feelings about stuff, because he's going to wipe all that away. What a relief.
Yep. And yet in the moment, it doesn't always feel good.
No.
And so the promise is really important for us to hold on to. And that's really brings us back to Easter, which we've just celebrated, because what we see in Jesus is God's promise. We see in Jesus the fulfillment of this promise. Jesus has come. He's actually conquered death through the resurrection. He's actually conquered Satan. He's conquered sin. And this is our assurance that this promise is going to happen. We've already seen, as Paul would say, the down payment of it. It's begun. This process is well and truly begun. And so therefore, take hope. Be full of hope. Because even what you might be experiencing now, there is a bigger purpose behind it all.
Yeah, and sometimes that's described as here and not yet. Is that how?
Yeah, that's right. The
It's here, but
theologians try to use that as a term to explain that we know something of it. Jesus has inaugurated it, but the fulfillment and the completion of it is still yet to come in the future. And here we are nearly 2,000 years after Jesus' death and resurrection, and we're still waiting for that. And we can see more and more glimpses of it in different ways. This is still rolling out with equality for people of all races, between male and female. There's a whole lot of areas in which we bring pain upon ourselves that are slowly being resolved, even as we live now. And yet there is still more to come, obviously.
So how does that work out? I mean, it's great to have that promise, but what does it mean for us today, living in this COVID-19 crisis? What is it that makes a difference and we can take away with us?
Well, one of Paul's interpretation of this is, therefore all things work together for good for those who love God, Romans 8. So he's saying, if we understand God's bigger picture, that puts everything we experience into context. And that means even our ups and our downs, God uses for our benefit and for the good of the world. So therefore, Paul is encouraging us to acknowledge that no matter what we face, God is using it to bring about his final plans, his final agenda. And so it gives us a chance to say, even this COVID-19 situation, God can use to enable his purposes to be fulfilled. And he's doing that right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, obviously the world is changing as we speak, minute by minute, and we're all part of that at some level. So this has an impact in our understanding of our own self and how we go through the next few weeks or months.
Yeah, and it encourages us to hold on to that hope.
Yeah, hope.
And to always be ready to submit to God's bigger plan and trust in God and his bigger plan, And we can do that because of Jesus and his death and resurrection. And so it's like this big sign saying, I've got it in hand, folks. I've got it in hand. Hold on. May God enable you to hold on to that.
Yeah, hold on to that hope. See you later.
God bless you. Bye.